You can just go on your phone. You have the notification. You don't need to play it, but you just need to keep it afloat. It's not for the money, right? Just put it. You don't need to play it, but you keep it. Okay. So today is a welcome to Qatar, as well as today is so that you can understand where you are and the people with whom you are going to be working with, and a little bit more about the culture, the tradition, and the lives of everyone that is here present in Qatar. Okay? The Qatar culture, sorry, give me 1 minute. We have the Qatar culture and everything that comprises the people of Qatar. So, this is your official welcoming to the land of Qatar, to the culture of Qatar, and working with the people, the Qatari people. Because our PNS project is completely you working with the people of Qatar. And that is whom they call the Qataris. Okay? Apart from that, there are other patients, there are clinics, there are industrial sites, there are schools and hospitals. But this is for private. So there are two offices, and that is why you have the office that way and you have this office. This office is a PNS office for only patients from Hamad. And the other office is for the private. And there you have clinics, hospitals, schools, and private homes. But that could be anybody, whether the person is a Qatari or not a Qatari. Now, where is Qatar? On the board, what you are seeing is the map of Qatar. So this is the environment that you'll be looking at, or this is the map when you have to think of, now this is me in Qatar. If you go to a country, the first thing you'll be looking at is their map. How is the map structured out of every other map that is in the world? And the next thing you'll be looking at is their flag. Okay, this is the flag of Qatar. So I know you must have seen on the cars, on people's homes, in front of shops, supermarkets, malls, you will see something like this. And this is their flag. Just like we have the flag of Kenya, just like we have the flag of Cameroon, just like we have the flag of the people from Philippines, as well as India. Okay? And the state of Qatar, one, it occupies the Qatar Peninsula, and it is found where? In the Middle East. And the sole landmark that we have here, apart from the Peninsula River, the peninsula is Saudi Arabia. So this is the only place you are going to identify that the only area where there is a landmark connecting Qatar and any other country. So if you want to go by car, the only place you can go to is Saudi, and it's just somewhere there. I won't say it's right there, but it's somewhere around there. Okay? And the capital of Qatar is Doha. You guys are done for your class today? You're done?
Break time.
Break.
Break time.
Alright. So the capital of Qatar is Doha. As well as what language do they speak? Arabic. And they are Muslims. Okay? So if you are a Muslim and you speak Arabic, from whichever background you're coming from, you are well and very much welcome. Because you will need that fact, or you will need, that is going to be a boost to your personality and to the people here, because they will easily relate with you. Because not all our patients understand English. And that is why you're going to be having an Arabic class. And you are going to try as much as you can to learn one thing in Arabic every day. Is that understood? At least the basics. Now we go to the people of Qatar. You will see most of the people, they are wearing, the male, they wear this long gown, as well as the female, they mostly dress in the black and the veil. You meet them everywhere. But it does not mean that everybody that dresses like this is a Qatari. Is that understood? Okay, now the people from Qatar, we have here as a map, they are 330,000 Qatari in total. That is only 10% of the total population that is present here in Qatar. And the remaining are expatriates, with the highest being India, which is 21.8%. So everywhere you are going to see the people from India. Does not mean that it's the country. Is that understood? Followed by the people from Bangladesh. And we have Nepal. People like us, where we are about 300 or 400, we don't even exist on the map. But we are here, aren't we? However, you could see that Kenya, which is where you're coming from, makes 1%, and that is about 30,000 people. Is that understood? So you have a lot of your brothers and sisters, you get yourself acquainted and find where they worship, and find where you have meetings, so that you don't feel like you left your home country and you're here alone. Okay? There's a handful of people from Kenya here in Qatar. Okay, as well as we will be talking of the religion, we have 65.8% of the people are Islamists. And we have Christianity, we have, okay, don't mention the other ones. We mostly now, the only recognized religions in Qatar now is the Muslims and the Christians. That is why some of the people might have issues getting visas, because the visas have been rejected because of one of the religions that are not yet accepted. It doesn't change the fact that they are present. Is that okay? Next, we have the weather. We have winter, as well as we have summer. The summer might not really be what you might identify. It doesn't mean it's not cold, but it is equally very cold, especially in the evening hours. This, we have just about 70 millimeters of rain per year. So you will just get up in the morning and you realize that it had rained. Or you will be coming to work and it is drizzling. That is the rain. The rain just is finished like that. It's nothing like the rainy seasons that we have in Africa. Is that understood? And we are having very hot for the summers. We have very hot weather that goes up to 400 degrees centigrade. And this is where we are presently. So it is very necessary that you prepare yourself psychologically to face the heat, especially when you're out. If you're inside homes, you are in the hospital, or wherever you want to be, as long as you are not out, you might not feel the heat that is out. But if you step your foot out, that is when you understand that the difference between hell and here is probably the same. Is that understood? So, and again, this calls us to increase our hygiene. Because it is very hot, it is mandatory that you should bathe at least 2 times a day and change your underwears as much as possible. Okay? As well as your oral hygiene should be very high. Because if you do not bathe as much as you can, you are going to sweat, it's going to smell, and you are going to hear people say you're smelling. Is that understood? So you make sure that your hygiene is good. You use roll-ons, no perfumes. You use roll-ons and just to keep yourself dry from sweating. Is that okay? Okay. So from here, we will be going to the prayer time. The people from Qatar mostly are Muslims, as we've said before. And what are the prayer times? We have the noon, we have the dawn, we have the noon, we have the afternoon, we have the evening, and we have the nightfall. Now, why is this important? As nurses, we will work or might work with a patient that cannot help themselves in identifying the prayer hours for them to pray. And because they cannot identify or cannot know or will not know when is dawn, when is noon, it is now in your responsibility to include this in your care plan. You have to include their prayer times on your care plan so that you can easily tell Mama it is time to pray. She will prepare and go and pray. But if you do not remind her, say your patient is suffering from dementia, and you don't remind her of the fact that she's going to pray, one, the probability of her praying just when the thought comes to her head is very high. And number two, she's going to lash on you. When she realizes that the time she's supposed to pray is over. Is that understood? So you keep the timing, and when you start drawing your care plan, you include the prayer timing in your care plan. And as you're sending your reports every day, I should see on your report when your patient was praying, because at that time you're not working, right? So I should know that this 30 minutes you are not working because the patient is praying. Okay, now we will not just be talking about the hours of prayers, but we'll be talking about the ethics. What are the ethics that you as a nurse should maintain when the Qatari or when your client or when the patient or when their family is praying? Number one, you shouldn't be listening to loud music. Your music should be low, and if that is it at all. However, I do not see any reason why you should listen with music at the patient's bedside. Okay? If you have to, maybe say there was a radio or something going on in the house, or the TV was on, then you should bring down the volume. Number two, you cannot pass in front of someone who is praying. You can pass behind, or you can wait until they are finished praying. And that simply means when it is any of this timing, and maybe say you are inside a room and you need to step out, don't just move out of the patient's room. Pull the door and make sure that no one is praying. Because if, let's say somebody is praying in the sitting room here, and I move out and I'm in front of that person, I have disturbed their prayer. They will have to start all over again, and you are going to get a taste from that. Is that understood? Another point, you are not supposed to snap someone that is praying. Because the excitement of the fact, maybe you have never met or seen somebody that is praying, and now you are in an environment where you might see 3 of the family members praying at the same time, and you get excited and you snap them. It is completely wrong. Is that okay? All right. Next, do not step on the prayer mat. Their prayer mat is not the same as every other mat that you will see. It is small. Do you know the prayer mat that the Muslims used to pray? Yes. You've seen before? I'm a Muslim. Oh, you're a Muslim. It is not meant for you to walk on. So you have to respect that fact and not just believe or think that it is a normal mat that you should be crossing on it. Is that okay? Now, all these ethics are things that you should learn. Reason why, if you are in Rome, you do what the Romans do. But I am not saying that you go and you start praying, but then you need to respect their religion, their culture, and their belief, because you are in their country. They did not come to Kenya, right? Neither did they go to Cameroon. Neither are they in the Philippines. They are in their country, and if you are here to work as a nurse, you will have to respect their religion. Next, we talk about culture. And for the culture, we'll be talking about the taboo, the unacceptable ethics that you can, or it is not acceptable here in Qatar. What you can do, meeting and greeting. Everybody meets. And when you go to the family, or when I take you to a particular family on the very first day, we are going to meet the family. We will meet, if it is the mother that is sick, we might meet the husband, the children, both male and female. And we know that for the Muslim culture, it is not as harmonious as the Christian culture, where you see the female, the male, and every other person is living a life as if nothing happened. No, here it is completely different, with due respect. Okay? Are you supposed to just get into the house and you start giving handshakes to the family? No. The acceptable greeting is Salam Alaikum, which literally means that word, peace be upon you. This is what you will greet everyone that you meet. You are not going to give a handshake to an opposite sex. Is that okay? If it is a male, you cannot greet them. Neither are you permitted to greet a female, except she extend a hand of greetings to you first. Is that understood? If it is a male, it is no. It's not ever going to happen. But if it is a female, if she extend a hand of greeting, then you can greet her. If not, you simply greet her, Salam Alaikum. Is that okay? All right. If we are moving on from there, if it is a male nurse, you are not going to greet a female with a handshake. And in the case that is a male, the male should be the one to initiate the handshake, and then you receive. If not, you stay away from shaking hands and just greet Salam Alaikum. Now, when we talk about the taboo topics that we are here, in the Western world, in most of the African countries, we don't have any problem talking about sex and sexuality. Here you cannot. It is a taboo in their religion, and you cannot be discussing with somebody about whether you are a female or you are a female in a male body or you are a male in a female body. There is nothing like being a female in a male body. Okay? If you are a male, you are a male, and if you are a female, you are a female. Next, we do not talk about religion. I don't go and meet somebody who is a Muslim and now start trying to bring them to Christ. Do you understand? So you are a Christian, that is respected. They are Muslims, you equally have to respect them. And that equally being said, you cannot go on duty and start doing rabakashakasaka inside a patient's home. No. I'm not saying that you should not pray. Pray at home before going. When you get there, do your duties, and when you get back home, you can pray. But not praying in tongues and casting demons in a patient's home. Is that understood? Okay. Next, we have politics. Qatar is not a democratic country where people have to decide which party they want to belong to or which party they don't want to belong to, who they want to vote for this year, who is changing. No, it's a royal country. That means they have a king, they have prince, they have queens, and they have princesses. Okay? The king is there and he is a king and he does not need your political input. So do not go in public and start telling people how the country or the king is not doing what, is not doing that. Please, save the democracy for your home country. Is that understood? Okay. The next thing that we do not talk about is war. You don't discuss how the war or whatsoever is going to come. So don't go somewhere in a public area and you start doing debate on who was wrong or who was right and which Russia or which. We don't want that. Are we together? Okay. Now let's talk about touching. I have spoken about that. The locals who are the Qatari, the women dressed in abaya and they put on their hijab. That is the long black gown and their veil, which is known as hijab. If you see a Muslim lady, or not all the Qatari, or not all the people that are Muslims are Qatari. However, all your patients will be Qatari because those are the only patients that the PNS program is handling. For the men, you meet them in a long white robe, which is the gown, over which is called the top, over slippers like this, what they are wearing, and the kifaya, whatever that is, or their own type of veil that they put on. Okay? So this is how they will look. And now for expatriate, which is you and I, these are acceptable clothing that you can wear. As long the dress or the skirt is below your knee and your top is covered, as long as you're dressing in long trousers and not competing with mad people by using destroy, you can equally wear the white robe and the abaya. You can put on suits, but not a dress that is above your knees or just below your buttocks, and not a half knicker. Is that understood? Okay, so now that we know what we are supposed to do and how we relate with the people here, let's go to, we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website is a global website and it's open for everyone that is present here. And you can go on it, you can study more to see the things and the ones that are not said, and cover up with whatever you think that will make you more comfortable. Because for you to be able to serve, for you to be able to work for a certain or a particular group of people, you need to understand what they do and what they don't do. That way your duties and your work will be easy for you to do. If you do not understand who they are, you are going to get into trouble, and that trouble is going to put you and make your work a very difficult place for you to manage. Is that understood? Now, we talk about you may not express emotions, okay. These are still some of the ethics, and for the culture that you are not permitted to do, this is an addition. You are not permitted to walk on the road with your husband or with your boyfriend, kissing or expressing public public display of emotions. It is not accepted here. If you have a problem with that, or you feel like you want to express your emotions, you go to your house and do that. Is that understood? Next, avoid taking photos of military installment or installations. If you get somewhere and the military cars are sitting or they are parked and they are doing something, avoid taking pictures of it. Avoid taking pictures of anyone that you do not take permission of. If you're at the beach and you want to snap, make sure that nobody is behind you, nobody is beside you that will get into your picture. Is that understood? Okay, we have you must stand up to greet or welcome any newcomer. If you get to the patient's home and you are walking, and maybe say a family member walks in, if you have never seen the family member before, you should stand up and greet them what? And greet them salam alaikum. You don't sit, you stand. This is a sign of respect, and especially if that individual is an elderly. Okay? And now if they greet you, they will give you the permission to continue sitting. Or you can greet and you sit and you sit. Is that okay? Alright. Next, use your right hand to accept drinks or anything offered to you by the patient or by their family members. That is to say, if someone comes in when you go in for the first day, or as you be in the patient's home and they are bringing you food during lunch, or they want to give you something to drink, do not stand to your left hand, even if you are a left hand. Use your right hand to collect something. I think even from our own culture, you certainly cannot take something from someone with your left. That is disrespectful. Okay. Next, we have, if you are in an Arabic home and you are given coffee, and you are done drinking, and you don't want any more coffee, you should turn the cup upside down. That way, if somebody comes to serve you another cup of coffee, they will realize that you do not want any more. We have, okay, I've talked about shaking of hands, non-Muslim, okay. Muslims do not drink alcohol, neither do they eat pork. So if you only know, or you know that there's someone, your friend, your colleague, that is a Muslim, please refrain from offering them alcohol. And if you're eating something, let's say you're eating something and Shamsa comes in, you don't give her the food when you know that the food contains pork. Is that understood? Because she might eat because she cannot see the pork in it, or she cannot smell it, or maybe she is very hungry and she comes in, you give her food, she eats, then later on she's like, this food is very nice. I tell her, yes, it's the pork that I came from. Do you understand how that is? It is their culture. You should respect them. Okay. Now, we have what we call here the majlis. This is a small hut that is found in front of every home in Qatar. Every Qatari has that outside. And this majlis is where they receive visitors. They could either be a male side and a female side, because often they don't mix both the male and the female together. If they have just one, then a sect or a sex. If they have just one, either it will be females in it at the moment or males in it at the moment. Now, if you are coming and they ask you to sit in the majlis while waiting for someone to take you inside the house, please, with respect to their culture, you remove your shoes. You do not enter a majlis with your shoes. Is that okay? And in case you want to go, let's say it was the Katama that came to take you from the gate and ask you to wait in, without realizing that those that are in it are already male. When you go and you discover that they are males, you just greet them, salam alaikum, and you walk away. Is that understood? You are not going to enter and sit because they ask you to sit in it. Are we together? Okay. It is a little bit much to take in, but it becomes very practical when you start doing it. You will just realize that you are respecting every rule without necessarily thinking about it. But you need to be told on time so that you don't make the errors of mixing them up. Please, your classes are never going to be repeated. And that is why you need to take everything that you are being told into consideration and not forget. Okay. This country possesses what a zero tolerance rule of possession of illegal drugs, of possession of imported pork, and there are some cigarettes that you are not permitted to smoke or bring or import into the country. Okay? So if somebody is telling you about a drug, first we are nurses and we are not permitted to prescribe any medication. So in this case, you feel like you want to show the African in you or you want to show how nursing you are, as you just start prescribing, just know that it's already illegal. Is that understood? If anything happens to that individual, you are going to be fully responsible for it. Next, we are going to be looking at the holidays celebration. The one thing that is about holidays and celebration is that every other person will respect it, but we nurses, we never do. Because whether there is a holiday or there is no holiday, if you are going to be on duty, you certainly will be on duty. Is that understood? And for the PNS system, these holidays are not compensated. That already is a difference. Because you are in the accommodation and other nurses are working for the private and you are working for the PNS system. And because they are working for the private, these holidays might be compensated by taking that day to be an overtime for the person that is working. And the person that is not working is already respecting the holidays after all. But if you are working for the PNS, as you will be working for the PNS system, those days are working days if you are working, and are off days if you are off, and they are not compensated additionally. Is that understood? Now this applies to you as well as it applies to me. So don't say, no, our supervisor said, but she is. We are all going to be respected because we are working for the PNS system. Is that understood? Now, which holidays do we have? We have the first, there are 4 national holidays, okay? Number 1, we have the Qatar National Day, which is December 18, annually. So every December 18, there is the Qatar National Day. And normally, if you were not working, you are going to respect this. If you were working for the private system, you will equally be respecting this, and if that day you were on duty, they will give you another day for your off, or they will compensate that day for your overtime. But for us, you will not be having that privilege. Is that understood? The second day is the National Sports Day, which is a Tuesday of the second week of February every year. The Tuesday of the second week of February every year. The next, we are having the Festival of Breaking. That is during the Ramadan time. So during the Ramadan period, after you've respected the 1 month, we will have maybe a 4 days or a 3 days that will be public holiday. If we are working, if you are on duty, then you'll be on duty. Is that understood? Okay, now Ramadan. During Ramadan, which is in March, we already enjoyed the Ramadan period, and all the good things that came with it, we finished enjoying them. So you came when every other thing was finished. During Ramadan, of course, we know that they are fasting, the Muslims are fasting, and there will be a long period of the day that they are not eating, and they will eat only by night. And because you will be working, you might want to go to work with some food. And because of that, of course, you'll be given, you have your break time which you can go and eat. But will you be eating at the space of others? You cannot eat in public. During Ramadan, you cannot eat in public. And because you cannot eat in public, you will have to make sure that when it is your break, you will take permission and you go somewhere that is just you and you eat. Is that understood? As well as you cannot just move in public and you eat. You cannot be seen playing loud music on your phone or in your car. During Ramadan, you cannot give someone that is a Muslim food during the hours that you know they are supposed to be praying or they are supposed to be fasting. Is that understood? Now, for those that are Muslims, it is understandable. They just understand the system, how it works. But for us that are Christians, we need to be told on how to respect them during that time period. Is that understood? So there are do's and do not when you are during the festive period. During that period, you can't give, or you shouldn't give somebody that is a Muslim food by the day, or drinks, or sin smoking in public. No, all those things are supposed to be prohibited at that time. You can assist them by providing them extra food during the time that they are supposed to be eating. So if you and Shamsa are here and she is fasting during that period, of course you can cook her food and serve her during the time that she is supposed to be breaking her fast. And not cook food and leave her when she is supposed to be fasting. As well as, so the month of March is believed to be the Ramadan month, and this, according to the Muslim community, is the time that the Holy Quran was sent from heaven as a guidance for men and women. Is that understood? So at least you should know something about the Ramadan so that they feel that you are including, or they are inclusive in whatever you have. And the spiritual and the background that you can support them is pray for them, is wish them happy Ramadan, and make sure that they can respect their own culture in peace. Is that understood? Okay, I think I have talked about the do's and the don'ts during Ramadan, respecting dressing, not drinking or eating in public, limiting entertainment, be considerate of the road, because during evening hours, many people will be going home to break their fast. So you should be understanding if your driver will not come on time. No drinking of alcohol, no smoking. Okay, many people when you ask your colleagues or your friends and every other person in other countries and you're like, I'm in Qatar, they probably believe that we are in a kind of desert. Yeah? Everybody just feel like we are now in the dust and like snake sand. That's how we are living. No, this is not just Qatar. Qatar is a beautiful place. It got parks, it got beaches, it got malls, it got churches, it got museums. It has islands, it has everything that you can ever think of, like every other country. And you certainly can move, can visit, and go to all these places when you are off. So when you are off, you can decide, you get yourself together, 2 or 3 persons that are off, and you go to one place. You see the museum, you go to a park, you go to the mall, you do some shopping, so that your visit and your stay in Qatar should be worth a while. Don't just put your head in going to work and coming back and going to work and coming back, and then when I call you to say something small and then you flip up on me. Because playing without, walking without playing makes who? Jack a dog boy. And Jacqueline will be a window now. Because why Jack is just done, Jacqueline will just be window. Is that understood? So find some time to get some recreational activities incorporated within your time that you're not working. Because imagine I went for shopping today. You think that tomorrow I'll be gloomy at work? I will be happy because I have gotten some new clothes, some new shoes. I have bought something that I like. Do something that you like, apart from the stress from work. Okay. Next, these are beaches. There are a lot of beaches here. You can go on the mountain tour and have all this camera. I can't go closer to that thing, you know. I don't play with my life. So if you can withstand that, certainly you can. If you would, and you go get some relief. Play. When the stress of the week is too much, get somewhere that you can relax and you can enjoy yourself. However, do not drink alcohol when you're going to duty the next day. Okay. Next, these are churches for the Christians. We have the Our Lady of Rosary Catholic Church. We have the International Denominational Christian Church. We have the Anglicans. We have the St. John, St. James. We have the St. Isaac and St. Peter Church. Okay, so you can look for the locations of the different churches that we have. We have other churches that probably are not registered. You just find your community and you find the churches that those people in your community attend to. Is that okay? Okay. So for now and for our welcome to Qatar, do you think at this moment you are able to learn and to understand something about the people here? Exactly. So with this period on time, you can't say you're completely blank. You are a step ahead in understanding the people that you will be working with. Because if you don't understand them, how will you work with someone that you don't understand? You need to know what makes them happy, you need to know their values, you need to know the things that you can do, and you need to know the things that you cannot do. And if you are a man, the first thing that directs them is their morals and their culture. And if you understand their morals, you understand their culture, you understand their beliefs, then you are one step ahead of understanding all what it takes to do your duties. Because remember, we take care not just of the physical, we take care of the mental, the psychological, and the spiritual. And one thing that will be more difficult for you is if you don't even understand what that spiritual is all about. Because the person might be having all the physical well-being, mental, and the only thing that they don't have is spiritual. So we need to understand and go through this step so that you know when you meet somebody, when you meet a patient that is a Qatari, how do you treat them? How do you behave? Because those are the people that you mostly be working with. Is that understood? Any question? No. You're all good and well. Okay. So now what is the time? 1:17. And you have to go for medicals. 1:17. I don't think I can start the order and finish now. So I will just give you time to get yourself prepared, and then you go to the second office and see Sir Ade. Sir Ade will be taking you for medicals today. Is that okay? Okay. The next class will be for tomorrow, and we will take it from there one step at a time. You fill in your forms and you bring it for me to sign.